Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to continue to work on basic transitional lighting and lighting contrast. If you haven't watched the first video or the video in the workbook, I recommend you doing that, pausing this and coming back to this because it will make a lot more sense to you what I'm doing. Just to catch you up, I'm still working on the Cherries 2 palette with a supplemental color of eggshell. And if you don't want eggshell, you just go to your analogous colors and you can choose from your analogous colors. Jasmine, sand, they all have the same undertones. The colors in the cherry all have a yellow undertone or a color that matches. We're not worried about color incompatibilities. So what I've done now and what we're going to be doing, I've drawn two dots on cherries. They're facing opposite directions, so the lighting would be affecting them differently. And then I put bottom layers. So we're still working from the same direction of light as the last time, and I put in our structures. We've got our center light in the same spot, we've got our terminator line, we've got our reflective shadow, and we have our halftones in. Now I want to show you two things that you can do, and this is really concept for anything you're going to be drawing. We're going to show you how to make a bump and a divot. So pretend there was a bug in this. I placed a small circle here to show where the hole is going to be, and so we're going to get out the dark, and I'm going to do a half circle. Now since I have the light coming in this way, the top portion would be a little bit darker. So we're going to color that in a little bit darker than the bottom of that crescent. It's really a crescent moon, not really a half circle. And we're leaving room on the other side because I'm going to take my lighter color and let's see. And I'm going to put that in a half moon circle going around the other side. I'm going to bring my center light all the way up because this happens to be in the center to the very edge. Remember, all this is center light. Okay, going in for layer 2. The top portion would be darker. And the bottom lighter, going inside. Make sure that's blended up really well. Go around the edge with my center light color. And then I just want to darken the edge, and I'm going to use that 70% gray. And I'm going to just tighten up the edge. Now I'm going to put a spot of white on the inside, slightly, just to show where the light is going in. Just a touch. Which would be right at the edge of that hole. And as you work on it, you see how it's looking like something's crawled in it. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side, except instead of going in, I want whatever was in it to be bulging and trying to get out of it. So for that, I want to make sure the very center of this stays light. I'm going to put my white there immediately. Okay, to keep the space open. Then I'm going to work on getting it so that it blends downward. The outside would be dark, the middle would be light, and the middle and between that would be your halftones. So I have my halftone here. Okay, now my darkest. So I'm going to take my darker pencil and I'm going to put it around the edges, leaving that middle open. Then I'm going to get out my halftone as I get towards the center of this. And my lightest, or actually I'm going to do my center color, my center light color. And I'm going to just blend all of that so that it's really well blended. My darkest goes around the edge, blending off into the cherry. Since the light is coming in this way, and I want to make it look like it's really standing out, I'm going to darken up this side as if it has sort of like a shadow. Now I'm going to blend it up. And now it's giving the illusion, if we still work on it and keep working on it, that something is trying to bust out of it. It's got a really bad pimple. So now we have a bump and we have a hole. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to put a hole through the cherry. Get out your picture. This is a very easy one, and I'm going to show you the finished version in a minute. But I just wanted to show you this part. Put a hole, a circle, then you're going to put a half moon. Right there. This is going to be darker than any of the colors out there, but still light. Your tonal value will be like 8 or 9. And then just shade it up. And then the middle part will be, I'm just grabbing a lighter pencil. Like that. Anything that you could see through, which would be this part of the cherry on the other side, you would draw in. So now you have the cherry with a hole in it. Okay, we're coming to the end, but we're not there yet. You've learned a lot. Between the 6 videos that are in the book and this, you're not going to believe how much you've learned. So we're going to do the end of the lesson test. You have the cherries, the picture, the 3 cherries, well, the 4 cherries. Your assignment is to turn them into other fruit. Get up off the floor. You could do this. I know my friend Pat is going, oh my God. I want you to look at these and really look what I did. The pumpkin. Yeah, it looks like a cherry as the shape, but you could tell it's a pumpkin. I used Color Combo Analogous Orange. Now, it's not in the analogous colors. There's the one in the main file that has analogous on the top. That's the analogous that I used for this. Then, for this one, I used Cherry Pie. This one, I used Cherry 2. And this one, I used Raspberry Lollipop. Now, if we look at this closely, I can still use more work on this one. But this had the bumps. We learned that. Here's the hole in the apple going through. Cherry is just like you were taught. And this, I just made an elongated bump. Try it. I'm going to give you a series of work in progress for this so that you could see exactly what went into it. Now, if this takes you a half hour to do because the fruit is very small. I mean, look at it compared to a pencil. This took me about 6 hours. So don't rush it. It takes time for you to build up those layers and be slow, deliberate. Like I said in the other video, in the other book, very deliberate strokes. None of fast coloring. When you get to those upper layers, you have to put the strokes where you want that color. You could do this. I'm here for you. Now, to find me, you go to the link in the description to find me on the fan page. My email address is in the description box, and I'm there for you. Any question. I want to see your pictures in the group. So watch the progression of my works in progress, which is coming up next. Next lesson is the backlighting and creating depth. Take care.